Here we go. I should be live. Let's put some headphones on. Check 1, 2. Thanks for coming into my live stream. Let's check to see if this is working. We're moving up the row. All right, let's see if this is going. How you doing? Welcome to my live stream. This is live stream number 5,134. Actually, I have no idea. It's probably more like 7. No, it's more than 7. So let's make sure. This says I'm live. This is a little bit of the same problem I ran into last week, so bear with me as I'm kind of trying to figure this out. Can I see on your phone? Can you bring up that same thing? I just want to see if it's showing the title that I just put over, or if it's still saying. Oh, cool. All right, good. Okay. So, hey, and there's some people coming. N-Chain, you made it in. How are you? I'm glad to have you in here. How you been? We're kind of this live stream is going to be slightly related to Oh, wait a second. What do I have going on here? What do you guys see? Oh, yeah, okay. Just making sure. Because now, look at this. I can screen share. Woohoo! I'm so excited about that. Some stuff is getting better. Yeah, but N-Chain, the U2 lesson is up in the members section of the site, so you can check it out. And I'm going to redo the video for it. I actually had a lot of fun with that song. And so the video on that page now is for this from the stream, but I'm going to do a shorter version so that it's easier to follow. But I had fun. I had fun learning that song. It had a lot of valuable information in it. So, yeah. And thanks again for being a member. It means the world to me at this particular juncture. It's been well, I've been working hard, still super excited about a lot of stuff, but it certainly has its challenges with it too. The site's been online a long time, but this is, the first time I'm really kind of treating it like a total business. So, which, for a musician, that's a weird thing, right? So yeah, here's what the plan today here is. We're going to play. So now that I can screen share, now the only thing I'm going to miss here is unfortunately I miss. Wait, maybe I could shrink these pages, is because I won't see the chat. I didn't think about that. I'd like to be able to see the chat too. Anyway, so basically, let's see how this looks if I do this. So if I screen share this, voila. So now you can still see me, and we can see the material that we're about to work on. So we're basically just going to play over. Last week's stream was supposed to be over the 12-bar blues. We're going to keep this stream a little on the shorter side today. So it's going to stop at 1:30, so it's only going to be a half hour. But we were supposed to play over the blues, but it didn't happen because of this kind of new streaming thing I got going on. So this week, I figured this way we'll kind of get it. It's not exactly the blues, but it's the first 2 chords of a blues, and then somebody wanted to talk about playing over changes, so let's see here. Yeah, and anything else too, N-Chain, that you other songs or lessons or anything you are interested in, let me know, right? Because I'm more than happy to. Actually, I really like making lessons for the paying members because, it makes me feel like, you guys are paying me, so I feel like it makes me feel good to make lessons for the paying members for sure. So you let me know. I'm going to make some updates to the mode one I did for you. And like I said, the U2 one will be fixed too. So let's see. Let's go ahead and let's jump in. Okay. So here's what we're playing over. We're just playing over this little jam. Let me bring the jam back. So it's just a C7 to an F7, and I think, if I remember, yeah, I'm actually playing C9 to F9. So here's what's kind of cool about this. Let's stop this for a second while we get back on board with everything else here. I'll come back just to the chat here for a moment to make sure. So let's see. Again, this is only the week 2 of using these, and I forgot. There's a way to set the hotkeys here so I can go back and forth between the different views, but I'm not sure how to do that yet. So I will figure it out though. So here's what's happening with this one. We're basically, these would be the first 2 chords of a 12-bar blues, but we also hear them in all kinds of funk jams and stuff, and this has kind of got that little funk rhythm with this C9 chord. For anybody that wants to know this chord, it's basically built on this C chord, so you probably know your... Sorry, I got these cables in the way here. I didn't think about that either. So you have open C chord. We probably know our open C chord. And then I'm going to throw my pinky on the 3rd fret of my 3rd string to give me a B flat. That's what's making it a dominant 7th chord. That's what's making it C7. And the key of C doesn't have any sharps or flats. So if I play a C scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, it would be if you sat on a piano, or behind me here, right? And you just play on the white keys, you're playing in the key of C or A minor, but that we'll save for another time. But because this C7 chord has this B flat in it, this does not belong to the key of C. So this is actually the 5 chord in the key of F. And it could be the 5 chord in the key of F harmonic minor, but again, that's another lesson. For now, we're going to treat it just as the 5 chord in the key of F. So over C7, instead of playing in the key of C, we're going to play in the key of F. However, if we play in the key of F, but we play from C to C, we're playing C mixolydian. So a normal C scale would go C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. But C mixolydian is going to go C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, because that C7 chord had a B flat in it. We could just think of it as the key of F, because it is the key of F, but if we, because it's a C7 chord, if we kind of think about it as C mixolydian, we're kind of basing stuff where we're putting more accents on the C's instead of the F's. So let me bring up the page that we're working on here, so you can see it, because I don't have a link to go to, because actually Nchain, you would be able to get into it because it's in the paid member section part. However, I already closed that window. I'll make sure to put some stuff up for it. So let's see. Let's go back here. Let's switch this to this, and then we'll go into the lesson itself. So there's our C7 chord here. You can see on this is just doing 2 bars of C7, 2 bars of F7. We're using C mixolydian, so even if we don't read music, and I realize most people don't, this is just C, D, E, F, G, A. There's the B flat. C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, which has different. And then over the F7, we're treating that as the 5 chord in the key of a B flat, which has 2 flats, because an F7 chord, if I take this same C7, I just move it up, C7, whole step to D7, whole step to E7, half step to F7, we learned it has an E flat, and the key of F wouldn't normally have an E flat in it. So, if we scroll down a little further, here's the forms that I'm using. So, I chose 5th position scales, and here's why. Because if we played a C pentatonic scale, this is one of the C scales that a lot of players learn very early in playing, right? Where we're just in 5th position, going from the 5th fret to the 8th, 5 to 7, 5 to 7, 5 to 7, 5 to 8, 5 to 8, right? 1 4 fingers, 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 4 1 4. And really the notes are just, I'm going to start on the C here. It's really just going C, D, E, G, A, and repeating C, D, E, G, A. Sounds like My Girl. I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. I've got... I don't know the words. So that would be a C pentatonic, and I'm just using that. And if I make it the full C major scale, I would go C, D, E, F. So I'd have to add this F on the 8th fret of my 5th string. G, A. Normally, I would go B natural to C. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. C major scale. But because it's Mixolydian, we have this B flat in there. So you can see that on the page. Let me just come back here to the chat. This is a... And I will work... the link does not work. Oh. I thought I copy and pasted that link too. Very weird. Thanks, Nchain, for letting me know that, though. I'm not sure why that's not working. Are you talking about the link in the description? Or you're trying to get to this page? Yeah, here. I have an idea. Oh, wait, how am I going to do that? Yeah, I think at the moment, Nchain, you'll just have to bear with me looking at this page with me, but then I'll make sure, I'll even email you the link to this page I'm looking at. Because I can't, if I copy and paste it into the chat, that's the old password and username that you need to get in, because it's getting into that older part of the site. That's why it looks like this, right? It's this older, before the site started. This hasn't been moved over yet, but it will be very soon. So for now, if you can just kind of follow along on this page, and then I will make sure I'll just email you so you have this material. And anybody else watching, if you want this material, you can, here, I'll just post this link. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to copy and paste. And I'll just put it in the chat here itself. Here we go. Enter. Okay, so that link, for anybody watching, that's how you will find this material later. Okay, so let's come back. So here's what's cool about this. So we've understood that we have C7. And that we're not really going to play in the key of C. We're going to play in the key of F. But if we want to get a little more technical, we're going to call it C Mixolydian. It's just a C scale with a flat 7. And you can see on this page that I have up right now, and let me just make sure that I don't know if the window, it's going to take me a little while to figure out how to make this work exactly right. I think I'm going to need another computer on, so I can see what you guys are seeing. Because when I open my window, I can't really tell, because you might not even see everything. Anyway, but providing you can see this, the C Mixolydian here, and then over on the right, it's the same scale, it's just showing all of the notes in that position, right? So if I play all of the notes... So again, it's really just the key of F, and there's an F major scale right there. Oops, sorry. I played F Mixolydian because that's where we're going, but would be the F major scale. So we're okay with the C7, right? We play over the C7, and these are the notes we're going to use. Now here's where it gets kind of cool. when we switch to the F7 chord, F7 is going to be the 5 chord in the key of B flat. So I'm staying in the same position. So I'm going to scroll this down so hopefully we can still. So I'm staying in 5th. And the only thing that's really changing from this first scale that we did, the C mixolydian, is the E's are becoming E flats. So I had an E on my 7th fret of my 5th string. So it's now going to become E flat when we get to that F7 chord. F stays, all the other notes are the same. So the E we had on the 5th fret of the 2nd string, that will now become, I mean, you could play the 4th fret of that 2nd string, that's E flat also, but to stay in this position, I will play the 8th fret of my 3rd string, that's still the E flat. And so if you look at these boxes, I'm going to look at the ones here on the right. So the ones on the left are just 1 octave, which might be a little bit easier to see. So whichever one you find easier to look at. But the ones on the right are showing all of the notes in C mixolydian or the key of F, right? Now this is where it gets weird because we're playing over the C7 chord, but we're playing in the key of F. And then when we go to the F7 chord, we're actually playing in the key of B flat. Little confusing, right? That's why it's kind of good to use the mixolydian, because we can say we're going to play C mixolydian over C7, and we're going to play F mixolydian over F7, right? As opposed to saying we're going to play in the key of F over the C chord, we're going to play in the key of B flat over the F chord, right? Because that even almost confuses myself. So this is kind of fun. So when we hear the chord switch, right? So here was our chord progression. When we hear this chord switch from the F7, the E is not going to sound good anymore because the F7 chord has this E flat in it. So that's why we'll want to acknowledge that change. Now, you will probably notice that a lot of blues players will just play a C blues scale over this progression, and you totally can. Let me come back to it here for a minute, and I'll just play. I'll just do this. We'll make this bigger here just for a second. So if I just use, like, say, a C minor pentatonic or a C blues scale. So that's an option, but you'll notice it doesn't have quite the same interesting thing going on when we actually make the changes. So if you ever hear people talking about playing over changes or making the changes, that's what they're talking about here. Hold on, where are we at? There we go. Actually, Shay, you made it in. Ronnie, you made it in. Yeah, I'm on, I got different stuff going on, Ronnie. I'm still working through these bugs. Ashay, you're late. That's okay, though. It's kind of a short stream. It's only going 30 minutes today, but it's okay. You made it in, and the material is going to be up there for everybody to use. And we're actually looking at an old page here on the site from the old member section, so that's getting moved over. So I'm excited to get it moved over. But anyway, this is working. So we're just basically talking about playing over 2 chords. We're talking about playing over C7 and an F7. But because they're dominant chords, C7 really belongs to the key of F. So we're using the C mixolydian, which is really just the key of F being played from C to C. And over F7, we're playing F mixolydian, which is really just the key of B flat played from F to F, because F7 is the 5 chord in the key of B flat. C7 is the 5 chord in the key of F. I know I just said that kind of fast. I hope that wasn't too confusing, but it is explained on this page, and this page will be available to everybody. I won't get to it today because they have plans for the day, and then I have to play tonight, but I'll get to it tomorrow, and the stuff will be up. So anyway, this is what we talk about playing over changes. We said over this C to F7, we can just play a C blues scale, or we can actually make the changes, and we make the changes by basically treating this E that's in the C mixolydian and moving it to an E flat for F mixolydian. So that's really the only difference between these two scales, right? Is the key of C the C mixolydian will just have one flat, the B flat, and the F mixolydian will have two flats, the B flat and E flat. So basically, you can learn this form, this C mixolydian I'm showing you that my mouse is on here. You can learn this form. Wait, make sure I'm still on the same. Are we still split screen? Yeah. Okay. And get comfortable with that, and then just make some mental notes where those E's are. The 7th fret of my A string, the 5th fret of my 2nd string, and then know when I hear the C7 switch to F7, I won't play those E's anymore. I'll play E flat. And this E will become this E flat. You could just back that E up if you're wondering why don't we just come back. You could, but to stay in 5th position, remember these are the same. I'm going to get my 8th fret of my 3rd string. So this is called making the changes. So I just playing a C minor pentatonic scale over these two chords, and you totally can do that. But if you want to have something a little bit more fresh sounding, we can play over these two chords by making the changes, by acknowledging what's happening in those two chords. So I just want to show you really quick. We have a couple arpeggios on the page here too. They would be worth looking at too. But I'll save that because we only have like 8 minutes left. I'll save that for just the last couple minutes. David made it in too. Man, everybody's in here today. It's awesome. You wanted to name one of your kids Dorian and one Mixolydian. Well, Dorian. Wait, I know a Doran. I don't know if I've known a Dorian as a kid. Dorian Gray? Who's Dorian Gray? Oh, really? Oh, so yeah, Dorian is a name then. So you could have, David. Mixolydian, I don't know. I'm not sure I've heard that as a name. No, Mixolydian, that would be different. So the kid that you named Dorian, it'd be a boy name, I think? He'd be okay. The one you named Mixolydian, they might have trouble through school. It's awesome. I love that the gang's in here. Well, we're missing a few. We're missing a few other people. That I love that these are growing because each week as there's different people in here, but we're seeing the same name. So it's kind of cool that there's a bit of a sense of community growing. It's awesome. David, you said Dorian Gray was a dude who lived forever. So, okay, so I just want to show you guys really quick. I don't even know what I go on. Am I still on screen share? I am. Okay, so here I'm going to turn this back on for a minute, and then I'm going to come back to our chords. So if I play, here comes the C chord. I'm going to play this E here, my 7th fret of my A string, and then they back up to the E flat for the F7, right? Now, 5 and 7 will be the same for both chords, right? So my D to my F. So there's an example of trying to basically outline those changes a little bit. Not playing a whole lot of arpeggios. I do want to show you guys just one thing with the arpeggios quickly too, so you can hear the importance of playing over just the arpeggios, because that's pretty important too, as far as learning the fretboard and kind of training the ears to hear those sounds. I was just thinking something though as I was playing that I wanted to share with you guys, and then I forgot about it. And in past streams I've talked about, I would put that jam track on. I would play maybe up and down as quarter notes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and triplets, triplet, 16th notes, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. I would do that. Those doesn't make much for soloing, but it's a good way to practice your chords, right? Oh, let me come back here. I don't know what that screen even looks like that. Oh, do you guys, is there a lag between what you hear and what you see? Because when the video went up as a replay last week from last Saturday's, I had to take it down because there was a really bad lag. So I made a couple changes to some things today. I don't know if that's fixing it or not. So maybe you guys will be able to let me know if there seems to be a lag in the live stream itself too, because obviously that makes it pretty hard on a replay. If I'm playing a scale and the notes are not matching with what you're hearing. So I will have to figure out how to fix that. I didn't have that problem when I was streaming, like all the Saturdays before, right? I was streaming using the Google Hangouts. I didn't have that problem. But now I'm using this OBS software thing, and it's allowing me to screen share, and it has me running Ableton and lets me use my electric. So it's letting us have a lot of things we didn't have access to before, but obviously I will have to fix that lag if there really is lag. So if you guys could let me know, that would be awesome. Okay, so yeah, David says usually a 7-second delay on all live streams for everyone. Yeah, that's tough, eh? That makes the lesson part hard because we can't really follow along, with fingering and stuff. But yeah, well, we'll have to think about that, maybe it. Yeah, but when I was streaming before using Google Hangouts, like everything other than last Saturday and today, when the replays went up, there wasn't really any lag in the replays. They're pretty matched up. Obviously there's some stream quality issues, but there wasn't really any trouble with the lag. Anyway, so I just want to do one more thing before I go, and then I'm afraid I have to bolt out of here a little bit earlier than normal today because I had have some other plans happening. It's a beautiful Saturday here, so there's and I have to play tonight, so there's a bit going on. But if you see, I'm scrolled down to the bottom of this page, and I'll get all this material for you guys. I promise. It's already up there. It's just not very easily accessible at the moment because this is in the old member section. This site is huge, by the way. I started in 99. I think it's over 1,000 pages in total. It's a lot of stuff. Anyway, here's the two. So this is still staying in 5th position. There's a C7 arpeggio here. And an F7 arpeggio. So that's just playing the notes of C7 and just playing the notes of F7. So this is another really good way of playing over the chord progression. So this time I'm just going to play C7, F7, C7, F7, C7, F, C, F, C7, F, so that's using nothing but the arpeggios, right? So, and you'll notice with a 4-note arpeggio, right, with a 7th chord, there's 4 notes in the chord. There's only 7 notes in a scale, so there's only 3 missing notes, right? So that's kind of cool. So there's a lot to be learned from practicing your arpeggios over a progression like that too, and then playing the Mixolydian scale, up and down, and then of course it's working on improv stuff. And I'd like to, if I had a little bit more time today, I'd like to get into that a little bit. So we might talk a little bit more about that next week. But just as far as taking our time not feeling a rush. Obviously I'm playing a lot of notes when I'm playing over this for you guys to just show you how you can use them. But, it's good if we can like play but not feel... That was pretty weird. And just one thing I'll mention there too that is kind of interesting about, here, I'm going to move back here to my chat, and I'll just switch this back because I don't think we need that anymore. One thing that's interesting about, remember how we started the stream and we talked about you can just play a C minor pentatonic scale through that whole thing. So you can play that E flat is part of the C minor pentatonic, so you can get away with it over that C7, right? It's part of what makes it sound bluesy. So, but if you're just trying to work on playing over the changes, then I would try to keep the E to the C7, the E flat to the F7. Anyway, this was a rather short stream, but I'm gonna sign off because I have to get out of here. And this material will be available. So I think all of you guys are registered in the limited access membership. So I'll post it in there. And Nchain, I'm going to send you an actual email so that you have this material. But I'm going to sign off for now, guys. I know rather short. I will be back next Saturday. I have decided for sure I'm going to up my streaming times. I haven't decided exactly how, but I'm going to do more than just the Saturdays. I'm going to do some through the week, and I'm going to do different times to kind of work for some of the different time zones. It might be doing the same material, like I might do 3 live streams in a week, the same material each time, just different time zone, times to be able to appeal to different people. But that's coming too. So I want to try to work a few of the bugs out of this new using OBS and see what I can figure out about the delay and all of that. And then, yeah, so that's it. So, hey, guys and girls, I'm not sure if we have any of the, but thank you guys, as always, for being in here and being a part of this. Makes it really, really cool. And stay tuned. That material should be up sometime Sunday. It won't get up today, I'm afraid, but it should be up Sunday. And if for some reason it is not, please use that contact button on musiclearning.com and remind me. Just say, hey, Teague, where's the material? Because I don't want to forget, when I want it up there. And I want it moved over from that old stuff to the new, which is fun. So I'm going to say bye for now, guys. Thank you guys for being in here. And I'll see you next Saturday. Throw any ideas you have at me as far as things you want to do for next Saturday. I have lots of ideas if nothing comes, but if you have any ideas, let me know. And Ashay, thank you so much. David, thank you so much. Nchain, thumbs up. That's awesome. Ronnie, awesome. Okay, see you guys later. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Did I miss anybody? David, I said bye. Yeah. Okay, I'll see you guys later.